Good morning everybody, welcome to Stony Stratford and a nice stretch of the Great Yews. I'm just down the road from the Warrior Gym, the Braveheart Gym. It's a bit busy this morning, only in that it's fairly near a road which is, we're about rush hour now. Anyway, Indian clubs. Indian clubs are particularly good for shoulders. They're actually Iranian clubs rather than Indian clubs, but the British found them in India, and basically they've been used for hundreds of years by Indian and Iranian wrestlers, and they can come in really big sizes. Okay, really good for shoulders, fantastic shoulder workout, and also particularly good if you're rehabilitating from shoulder injury or just keep yourself in trim. Whether you're a paddler or general fitness, they're good for anything. Now, you do not have to buy yourself a purpose-built, made-to-measure Indian club. These are quite expensive for what they are. That's about 1.6 kilos. You don't need to buy one of those unless you've got it readily available. You can either use a simple bar from a dumbbell, an unloaded dumbbell, that's about 1.2 kilos. That'll do the job. Or failing that, you could use a lump of wood. All you really need is a bit of weight on the end of a lever, which is your arms. Bear in mind today, obviously, wearing gloves, not just for decontamination, but pretty good for grip on the clubs as well. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to use these. These are dragon boat paddles. No, they're not. They're dragon boat drumsticks. Very small to paddles, if you think about it. Dragon boat drumsticks. The technique is sometimes intricate, sometimes straightforward. So the plan is learn the basic technique and then ramp up progressive overload on weight or speed. Okay, so slow it all down. It's a bit like a martial art. Learn the technique first and then come in with the speed. I'm going to show you a range of exercises. Try them. There's some simple, some more complex. See how you get on, but take it easy. Now, what I would do in any exercise, I would start off with a basic warm-up. So, find yourself a space, set down your clubs and just do straightforward star jumps. But introduce this one as well. Forwards, back, forwards, back. You see, so I'm exercising the shoulders. And what we're aiming to do with this particular routine is exercise and mobilise the shoulder in all ranges of movement and throughout all the various functions of the shoulder. Very complex joint, so you need to maintain it. Okay then, so once we've done the warm-up, there's now a club warm-up, fairly straightforward. Just 1, 2, just a chest expansion, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are called crocodiles or alligators. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're doing, range of function, range of movement, planes of movement, and then getting the shoulder working as it should do at this time of the morning. Other options, all the way up. So these are basically palms facing out, or we can do palms in, palms facing down. Okay, and the last one is a posterior chain stretch, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. You've probably seen these other exercises elsewhere. Okay, first one, horizontal wrist rotation. So we start from this position here. If I come a bit closer, what we're doing is rotating down that way and back. Okay, down and back. Just rotating, using the shoulder as it's tended to be used. All the way down, all the way up. So what we're doing is tucking under the shoulder and then back and then under the shoulder and back. Once again, get it going slow, lean into it and then speed up. But it's about mobilization. It's not about heavy weights, okay? So it's not muscling it. It's using the right weights, using the technique rather than muscling. Okay, horizontal wrist rotations. Sorry, that was underarm tuck. Did I say horizontal wrist rotation? That was underarm tuck, underarm tuck. Horizontal wrist rotations. Once again, all the way down, all the way up. And all we do is, it's like, if you remember this, it's like the doorknob exercise that we used to do years ago. Okay, all we're doing, you see, you're just moving the shoulder through its complete range of motion. Nice and slow, hold it there. The more weight you've got, obviously the more resistance, but just get the technique first. There we go, horizontal wrist rotation. Easy as that. The next one is front circles. 2 forms of front circles. Basically tuck one away outside behind your leg. And it's a forward front circle. I'm actually working in the frontal plane. I know I'm going side to side, but it is a frontal plane. And then the other way, a little bit of light rain, all nice, very refreshing. And obviously we can do the same with the other arm. The other form of frontal circle is working actually in the sagittal plane. But you see, 2 forms of front circles. And once we've got that sorted out, we can do doubles, okay? And back. You see the idea, frontal circles, singles, 2 directions or 2 forms, and doubles. Okay, next one is back circles. So basically the key to this is keeping your, good morning, keeping your elbows stationary. A few people walking around doing their daily constitutional walks. So what we're doing an external rotation or an internal rotation. Try and keep this elbow stationary. If I move in a little bit, I'll hopefully show you what I'm trying to do. You see what I mean? There's an internal rotation and an external rotation. And you actually feel it all the way through your triceps into your shoulder. There we go. And from the back, if you can see that, internal and external rotations. I can feel that in the scapula as well. Right, once we've mastered that, we can do figure 8s. This is figure 8 front circle. We can do it singles, or we can do it doubles. So we're really swinging the hips as well. So even though it's a shoulder exercise, we're mobilising the hips at the same times. Okay, figure 8s. Moving on, contra circles. 2 forms of contra rotating circles. The first one, you're probably familiar with. Now, what you'll notice is, this is okay with light Indian clubs. If I'm using heavy ones, I risk knocking my knees. So what I suggest is if you have the stride position there, and then you create a bit more space for you to get your contra-rotating Indian clubs into, okay? If you're not familiar with it, basically get one going first and then bring in the second one. It's a bit of a coordination exercise as well. There we go. The other one, which I think I've shown you before, is basically a front circle contra-rotating. But the key to this is to interlock. So basically what you're doing, if I show you from the side, better see it a bit easier, is I'm going forwards and back. You see what I mean? One forwards, one back. One forwards, one back. One forwards, one back. Okay, you see what I mean? I'm crossing over and then that's going behind on the second one. So I'm really working this shoulder quite hard. Doesn't look like it, but you can really feel it, even with fairly light weights. And these are about 0.3 of a kilo. That's all they are, okay? That's all you need to get you going. Okay, so there's your contra-rotating circles. Now, a little bit more involved this one. This is like a sword fighting exercise. The external rotated circle, if I just show you this, so you can see that, like I'm sword fighting, Pirates of the Caribbean style. So basically, up, flick, and what we're trying to do is extend the arm at the back as well. So we do the flick, and then we're extending up. So I'm mobilising the shoulder at the back. You see what I mean? So I'm almost lifting the body up, light on my feet. So once we've mastered that, bring in the second one. You get the idea. And once we've got that, we introduce a narrow stance squat. So that's a narrow stance squat, okay? The rules for squatting still apply. And it becomes a hip flexor exercise as well. There we go, hip flexing exercise, rolling the ribs. And from the side. Good morning, how are you? Sun's coming out. Good to see people out doing their constitutional exercises. There we go. So hip flexor and shoulders as well. Next one, a little bit more involved. So it'll take a bit of thinking about, but once you've got the swing of it, it's fine. I've shown this before in other videos. There's a scoop, a rotate and a point. Scoop, rotate, point. It's going in front of me. But the key to it is once I've done the scoop, I then externally rotate the shoulder and then point, okay? And then when I've got that going, scoop, rotate, flick. 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 And try and do it so you're interlocking. So you're going scoop, rotate, flick. Scoop, rotate, flick. Scoop, rotate, flick. Scoop, rotate, flick. Okay, with me so far? Brilliant. The last one, my favourite actually, it's called a Crescent Swing. It's quite a dynamic exercise. This one, instead of scooping in front, I start from behind the head, as if I'm a Greek god, okay? It's that sort of statue. We're coming down and rotating once again. So not just externally rotating the shoulder, I'm actually externally rotating the hip as well. So I've got a scoop. You see what I mean? So the idea is to keep one hanging, scoop with the other one. As that comes out, scoop with the other one. So we're scooping in. Like I say, get the technique first before you speed it up, and then slow it down. Slow is good. And that is all there is. Good morning. That is all there is to it. The principle in this, as in the principle of martial arts, is called psychophysics. Sounds like psychobabble. If you increase the stimulus too fast, you lose the sensitivity. If you increase the sensitivity, drop the stimulus. What I'm saying to you is, slow it all down, get the technique, and then when you've got the technique and you're happy with it and it's fluid and you've got a nice steady motion, then speed it up from there. Now, that's a number of Indian Club exercises. Try them. All you need is a lightweight. So get the technique first. Then, like I say, if you want to ramp up in terms of progressive overload, speed or weight, but don't go heavy too soon because you end up injuring your shoulders. And if the idea is to mobilise them, remobilise them, then we're going in the wrong direction. Anyway, have a look at my YouTube channel. There's now over 100 exercises, and what I specialise in, if that's the right term, is low tech, minimal equipment, high energy, high effectiveness. Okay, that's what it's all about. It's not about massive gym kit, that sort of stuff. It's what you can use with your body, with either a resistance band, a kettlebell, an Indian club, or a TRX style strap. Anyway, take a look. Always keen to hear your comments, feedback, heckle, throw a metaphorical virtual cabbage at me, I don't mind. Feedback is a gift that makes you great. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Cheers.